So you've probably seen a lot of these chatbot videos, right? Like how can you build an automation, use AI, and then embed a chatbot onto your website? And believe it or not, there used to be in the past, SaaS tools, SaaS applications that would do this. Now you can do it yourself. You can host it yourself. You can build it yourself inside of n8n.io. And the great thing about this service is that you can charge clients. You can charge them a flat fee to set it up, or you can charge them a monthly retainer to manage the automation and the output. Okay, so before I jump right in, do me a favor, like this channel, subscribe, and let's get started. So I'm creating an automation for a fictitious company called Bob's Car Rental. Now remember, this can be a chatbot for any website. It could be for your own website. It could be for your client's website. It's very customizable, okay? And the output nodes that you'll see in a second are very customizable too. Okay, so this is the chat window that I'm gonna have a conversation with. So let's just start with, hey. Now this is gonna be an interaction between the user or the prospect or the customer and the AI agent. Okay, I'll show you exactly how you can integrate this into your own website. Okay, so, and obviously we're gonna build the automation together. So, hey, I'm Felicia at Bob's Car Rental. How can I help you today? Looking to book a car rental. So, hey, Felicia, I have a booking, but I need to collect the car. Okay, now the interaction can go however you want it, right? This is going to be dependent on the prompt and how you build out the automation. Okay, so for this example, I was going to assume that the prospect or the customer has already booked, that's already paid for the car, and they just need collection, right? So great, I can help you with that. Can I get your name and phone number, please? Okay, so let's just put John and then 555. Okay, even though I didn't answer the preferred date and time, it was still going to come back because these are built into the prompts. Okay, so hey John, thanks for letting me know. Now, when would you like to pick up the car, right? Please let me know your preferred date time in Singapore time. So I'm in Singapore, it's my local time zone. Just make sure that this is set to your own time zone. I'll show you exactly how to do that in the prompt. Okay, so let's just try March 5th at 3 p.m. And what this is going to do, this automation is actually going to check my calendar to make sure that there are appointments, there are available slots, and then it's going to book. It's going to basically book it and obviously send them a confirmation. Okay, so let's just do John at gmail.com. Okay, now it's actually writing. You can see here, look, it's open the model. The chat model is actually updating my calendar, right? So it's not, in the first instance, it's actually reading my calendar to see if there's appointments available, and then now it's updating my calendar now. And if you go inside of here, you can see here that it's got the car rental pickup, it's got a date time, it's all correct, it's got the email address, and you can put in some of the bits and pieces in here if you wanted to. Okay, so with that being said, let's just have a look at the automation and then obviously we'll build it together. Okay, so this is the AI agent, that's Felicia. It obviously uses the OpenAI chat model. I mean, I'm very comfortable with OpenAI. I actually pay for it. I think it's still a phenomenal language model. But I mean, you could do this with, Grok, you could do this with Mistral, you can use Claude, Gemini, take a pick. Then it's using a Windows buffer because obviously we need to save and store some information. And then it's just checking the calendar. It's got a check calendar module and then it's got an update calendar module. Okay, so how do we build this? So let's just open up a new module here. And we're going to start off with the AI agent, okay? So let's just load that up here. And there's a few things you can do in here, okay? So I'm going to go through that in the original because I've already done it here. So basically, this is the AI module. This is the brains of the entire workflow, right? And there's a few things inside of here. Obviously, the input is going to come from the chat input, right? And for this, we're going to use a system prompt, okay? So where you see that is here, a system message, okay? And you're going to want to do a variation or something similar to this, okay? Now I've spent a bit of time on this, just not that long, maybe like 10, 15 minutes. I usually spend at least, if it's a very important workflow, it's a very important automation, or the project is worth a substantial amount to me, I'm going to spend most of my time inside a prompt, okay? Because I want to make sure the output reflects the input, right? Whenever you build out an automation, always start with the end goal, always start with the output first, then work your way backwards. It's going to be a lot easier for you to build, okay? So in this example, and you're going to want to use the expression so you can plug it all in, but I'll show you why in a sec. So the system prompt is, you're Felicia, the friendly and casual chatbot for Bob's Car Rentals website, all right? Your only goal is to book an appointment at the local car rental office for payment and car collection by the user, okay? Now this can be modified for whatever the interaction needs or however the interaction needs to take place. Okay, so depending on your requirements or your client's requirements, just bear that in mind. Okay, that everything you do should guide the customer towards that outcome. Because remember, you're using a chat model, you're using a language model, right? This conversation could be as wide as you talking to ChatGPT. Okay, so you need to put some parameters in here. You need to put some boundaries in the conversation, right? Because you want to keep it on track, right? You don't want them to, ask you the weather or how you feel or anything like that, right? Because it can. If you don't put any guardrails in here, the conversation could go off the rails. Okay, and then you want to put the current data into JSON. So make sure it's in this format, right? Which is why I've said put it into the expressions not fixed. Okay, and it's just $now.format, the year first, the month, and the date. Okay, and to make sure the month is capitalized, and then you should see something like this. Okay, this is today's date. I'm recording on the 3rd of March. If you see that, then you're good to go. Okay, just make sure that's in there, because it's going to cause issues with something like booking. If you are booking like appointments for like med spas, if it's a dentist, doctor, anything like that, right, where you are actually interacting with the user and booking an appointment, you're going to want a correct date. Okay, then I put in how you work. Now, there's no kind of hard and fast rule about how the prompt should be structured. This is just how I do it. You could do it in any format you want to do it, right? Just make sure you're very specific in the details. So start with, hey, I'm Felicia at Bob's Car Rental. Again, the greeting could be whatever you want to be. Then proceed with the conversation. Then you want to collect key details before the booking. Okay, so name, phone number, and preferred date time, Singapore time. Now, this again could be any parameters you want it to be. And then check the calendar before confirming. Okay, so it's going to go into my Google Calendar here. Let me just come out this, and then it's going to check to see if it's available, right? If the request slot is available, lock it in. If it's taken, suggest the closest free slot. So it's going to look in and around. It's going to suggest before or after. And if they don't provide a date time, offer open free slots, okay, or open slots, but never override existing bookings. Okay, office hours 9 till 9. Again, you're going to set this to whatever time your business or your client's business operates. Monday to Friday, Singapore time. Only offer times in this window. Remember, you got to be very specific about the guardrails, okay? Because otherwise, if it's only open till 6 p.m., they could book it from like 8 p.m., right? Which is obviously no good to you. Stay focused on booking. If the conversation drifts, gently bring it back. Again, this is more guardrails. Example, that's interesting, by the way. Let's lock in a date time. Let's lock in a time for your pickup, okay? Be warm and efficient. No corporate jargon, just casual, clear, and friendly. So that's the kind of persona, the kind of style that I'm using for this chatbot. If yours is a more professional, more structured, more disciplined kind of business, then you might want to reflect that in the way the chatbot will have a conversation with the user, okay? Then keep responses short and direct. No long walls of text. If unsure, don't guess. Offer to check with the team and follow up, okay? So that's just going to be, if I don't know the answer, I'm just going to go back to one of us, and then I'll come back to you with the answer, okay? Your mission to get the name, email, and confirm booking without scheduling conflicts. That's it. Now go make it happen. Very, very straightforward. Okay. So you just want to copy a version of this, right? Or create it and then paste it into the system message here. So I'm just gonna put it in here. Okay. And then make sure that's saved. Okay. And then you're good to go. That's all you need in that module here. You can test the step as well if you wanted to. And then I'm going to center this, and then for the chat model, I'm going to use OpenAI, like I said. But again, look, you've got all these language models here. You can use any one of these, entirely up to you. I'm just going to use OpenAI chat model because I've already got it connected, okay? And I'm just going to keep a GPT-4 mini. If you want to use a more up-to-date version, by all means do that. The GPT-4 mini, I like it because the output's good. I use it for a lot of my automations, but it's also very quick, right? The response times, the replies are very quick. Okay, so I don't have to wait that long. Okay, and then we're just gonna put that there. And then for the memory, we're just gonna need the buffer. So just select the Windows buffer memory. Okay, and then the context window, you can have as much as you want. I'm just gonna leave it for 5. You can have as many interactions or go back 10, 15, 50, whatever. It's entirely up to you, okay? I think for this one, what did I leave it at? Might have left that 10. Okay, so 10, we're just going to do 10 here. But again, this is very customizable depending on your, what you need, okay? Then the next 2 modules are, again, very it's up to you, right? Whatever your automation does, however you want it to interact with your users based on your business outputs, just customize it. But for this, I'm just going to use 2 calendar options. Okay, the first one is check the calendar to make sure there's no appointment conflicts, there's no booking conflicts. Second one is to update the calendar. Okay, so let's just head back into the build. We're going to add the first one, which is calendar. Okay, and this one we're going to get events. We're going to get many events, right? So this is the lookup. This is the one that's going to check the calendar. Okay, so we're going to get many events, and there's an interesting expression here. Okay, so we can actually use the variable fields, the JSON fields, and we can build it from the interaction inside of the chat window. Okay, and so this is what we're going to use for that. So if we go back to the original, I'll show you how I built that. So the first one is the check calendar. So we've got event is get many because we want to make sure that we've got all the available bookings for that day. And I've collected it to just a calendar for now. And then so what we're going to do here is we're going to select get many. To select a calendar, right? I'm just going to use this one. The limit, what did I save it as? I think I just put 5, which is fine. I mean, limit is going to be like how many appointments does it return, right? You're probably not going to have more than like say 5, 6 maybe in a day. Okay, so just leave it at whatever is relevant for you. And then for this, we're not going to use the default. We're going to use the AI expressions that I've mentioned. Okay, so I'll show you exactly how that works. So the first one is after, so it's just going to be from AI, and I'm going to assign it the after date variable. Okay, so we know that the information is going to come from the AI because that's what this from dollar from AI variable means, and then we're going to assign it the after date. Okay, so just copy that and paste that here. So if you're not sure how to do that, let me show you. It's the curly brackets dollar from AI. Okay, so you just do curly brackets dollar from AI, and then you want to have open brackets, quotation marks, and then you just want to put after date, close that, and then close the bracket. Okay, if it's red, that means there's a problem. If it's gray like this, it means you've done it right. Okay, that's the first one. I'm just going to copy this just to save time, and then we're going to paste that into the before as well, but I'm just going to change this to before date. Okay, so these are JSON variables. Okay, and that's pretty much it. That's all you need to do. And then don't forget to select the time zone, right, to make sure that you know the AI knows which time zone you're in, because otherwise you're going to have like scheduling conflicts and booking conflicts and all that kind of stuff, right? And then just select your time zone or whatever it is from the list here. I'm just going to put Singapore. Let's see if it brings that up. It should do. Here you go, Asia, Singapore. Okay, and then we're just going to come out this one. Okay, so that's the first one. The second one is going to be the same, but this one is now going to update the calendar. Okay, so we're going to bring up the calendar tool again. This time, if we look at the original, let me just go back in there. We're going to update the calendar, and it's going to create. The operation now is create. Okay, because the first one was get, which means pulling the appointment information from the calendar. This one's get create, which means we're going to now go back and create it. Okay, and for this one, I'm just going to copy this, and I'll show you how that works. Okay, so let's go back into here, create. Make sure you connect it up to the correct account, and then I don't know why this is calendar 1, but yeah, anyway, let's just save that. And then I'm going to select it from here. Okay, so digital API is the calendar I'm using for this, but you would then select whatever is relevant for you. And then from this, I'm going to use the start date. Okay, and for this, I'm going to use the end date variable. So this is now end date. And remember, it's from AI, so which means that it's going to pull it up from the conversation, and AI does a great job, right? In NA10, this function does a really good job. It's really good. Okay, then we want some additional fields. Okay, so the first one we want is attendees. Okay, so if I look at the original, you're going to have attendees, which is from AI, the user email. Okay, it's going to send them the user email. You can take the username as well, but I'm just going to use the user email for this. Okay, so again, it's just another JSON variable, but you just put it into this format. So it's curly bracket, 2 curly brackets, $ from AI, open brackets, quotation, user, email, close quotation, close bracket, two curly brackets to close, okay? As long as you see it in this format, it means that it's worked, okay? If it's red or anything, any other color, you're gonna have a problem. And the last one I add is meeting summary. So let's just add another field, which is called summary. I'm gonna go in here, paste that in here from AI, meeting summary. And so you can pull it all off there, okay? And yeah, that's pretty much it. So this is what it will look like. And then this one, you can just rename to update calendar. And this one, you can call it check calendar. And yeah, I'm a big believer in naming the nodes, right? Just to make sure that you understand what it's doing, okay? We just called it from Felicia. And then to basically, once you're done, once the automation is built like this, if you want to paste this into your website, you're going to need some couple of things. Okay, the first thing is you're going to need the embedded copy, which is here, and I'll show you what that looks like. Second thing you're going to need is the webhook. So this is the webhook for my automation, okay? If you click on this link here, it will take you to this website, okay? So this website is N810's chat, and there's a few things you can do inside of here, okay? So you can use a CDN embed, and you copy this. Now, if you're using Shopify, if you're using Wix or Squarespace or even WordPress, you can actually embed it in directly as HTML code onto your page, okay? You can do that. You can do it on all the platforms, right? And if you're self-hosting it, if you're building it yourself, this should be very straightforward for you, okay? And then for your production webhook URL, you just take the URL that's here. That's your production webhook URL, okay? In terms of more customizations, there are more things you can do in here. So you can take, if I go down to, there's other options as well, React, there's JS as well, if you're familiar with that. And then there's more customizable options here. So you can copy this, embed it, and then here you can see here, you can change the name, you can change the greeting, you can even change colors and outputs and all that kind of stuff, right? So it's all on this page here. So you've even got customizations for colors, okay, as CSS variables. So if you wanted to put it into your branding or your client's branding, website branding, whatever, you can change it here. These are just hex codes, and you just find the colors and replace it with that, okay? You can use color pickers, and you could change the fonts and everything. The padding, entirely up to you, right? If you wanted to do full screen mode, which I probably don't think is a good idea, you could do all that, okay? So hopefully you understand how this works and you can build something like this, right? It's not a difficult automation by any means. There's gonna be a lot more, more difficult automations that I'm gonna build. There's a lot more that are more complex than this already on the channel. So take a look at this and, go out there and sell it, right? I'm seeing people selling this for like 400, 500. I saw one guy, I think he's like an AI agency as well. He builds like these kind of SaaS kind of agents, right? So there's still AI, still automation, there's still no code, but he sells it with like a SaaS angle, right? He's selling these for like 500 a month. So if you can do it, I can do it, he can do it, okay? And it's very easy for us to do this, okay? So have a look at this automation, leave your comments below, like this channel, share this video, and more importantly, please subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you on the next one. Thank you.